All right, broadcasting live direct from our studios in Moscow. This is RT International. I'm Sean Thomas. Glad to have you with us. We start with breaking news this hour. Russia and the United States have announced a plan to end the deadly conflict in Syria. Secretary of State John Kerry and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov gave a media briefing after marathon talks in Geneva. Our correspondent Igor Piskunov was there in the city, has more on the deal.
Foreign Minister Lavrov and U.S. Secretary of State Kerry presented us with what seems to be a roadmap which could potentially have quite a positive effect on the situation there in Syria. It could, in general, lead to a ceasefire in the country. Syrian forces must halt with the airstrikes starting from September 12th. That's already unprecedented. And in general, a cessation of hostilities is planned to start, starting from September 12th. The idea is to create a demilitarized zone around Aleppo, specifically because we know that's in the most devastating state right now, and that should help, at least Lavrov and Kerry hope so. That should create or allow to supply that area with humanitarian aid. What's also very important is that Russia and the United States agreed to joint forces in the fight against al-Nusra. Now, commenting on these agreements that they've reached today, both Lavrov and Kerry said that they are ready to use the influence they have on the sides of the conflict, on the government on the behalf of Russia, and then on the opposition on behalf of the United States. But Kerry said he already spoke to some members of the opposition who are in contact with the White House, and they said they're ready to implement these agreements, but only if the Syrian authorities also stand by the ceasefire. John Kerry said that Russia and the United States already made several agreements previously on Syria, which didn't really work out. He said this should be a whole new level of cooperation because he says they worked really hard to avoid making those past mistakes, and praised Russia in the process.
There is also a deterrence in Russia holding Assad accountable for his promise. And so this is a new equation. And we believe that this new equation offers an opportunity, again, not a certainty, an opportunity for people to be able to find a peaceful solution, because we don't believe there is a military solution. And the current trend is simply creating more terrorists, more extremists, and destroying the country in the process.
Now, another important part of this whole agreement is that Russia and the United States will start picking out the so-called sane opposition from the terrorists. And Lavrov commented on that as well, said that it's extremely important, otherwise there would be problems with delivering humanitarian aid into the troubled areas in Syria.
Также мы получаем угрозы.
Opposition forces who are holding Aleppo keep threatening the humanitarian convoys. I would remind you that a humanitarian convoy was already prepared last time John and I met here on August 26. The UN was ready, the Syrian government was ready, but the opposition said that any convoy that takes the Castella Road will be shot at. Their attitude to our plans remains unchanged.
So once again, both Lavrov and Kerry said that this could potentially be a real chance for some positive change in Syria, both in terms of peace and in terms of political change as well. Moreover, they're talking about a new level of cooperation between Russia and the United States. But once again, all of this may happen only if all sides involved will implement this fully.
Separating so-called moderate rebel groups from extremists in Syria has so far proven problematic due to war crimes committed by factions which are not on the UN list of terror groups. Here are some examples of groups that are in doubt. Ahrar al-Sham is believed to have close ties with the notorious jihadi group al-Nusra and has in the past had links with Islamic State. And Jaish al-Islam has been accused of mass killings of civilians in Syria, as well as carrying out abductions and human shields. Middle East historian Edmund Gharib believes the ceasefire agreement is a crucial step, but there are still major obstacles to be overcome.
This is something very, very important. I think this is it would be a sign that there is trust, there is a willingness to move ahead with some kind of a ceasefire. There was an agreement earlier to get assistance, humanitarian aid to the people in Aleppo, and there was an agreement that included the United Nations, it included the government, the Syrian government, it included the various, at least the US and the Americans, but then there were attacks. So basically, it didn't hold. If there are attacks, new attacks, as we saw in the recent days on the Costello Road, then that is going to be a problem. But it looks like this is an agreement that has taken a long time.
This is indeed monumental in a sense, but the more monumental thing is that the United States have made a big decision in ditching Jabhat al-Nusra in order to preserve the other fighting groups, the other, what they call the moderate groups. And this is actually the cornerstone of this agreement.
The negotiations between John Kerry and Sergei Lavrov dragged on for more than 14 hours, making it the longest talks on Syria since the war broke out in 2011.